two travel agents with an ocean-sized obsession for small ship cruising.
Get ready as we inspire you to sail beyond the brochure.
It's the ship less traveled. Well, bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue. Welcome to another episode of The Ship Less Traveled. In case you don't know, I was speaking French there. I'm dressed up like the French flag, but I haven't been to France for a while. Somebody here was just in France, weren't they, Lorraine?
They were, and that was me. Bonjour.
Oh, comment allez-vous? Do you speak a little French?
A little.
Yeah.
Mainly school French. Unfortunately, I didn't pick it up after school because I actually really enjoyed it. So it's very slight conversational, well, less than conversational. I do more tourist French.
Here in Canada, I had French immersion growing up. So I was learning French as a young kid and just grew up speaking both languages. So, of course, it really helps when I'm traveling in the French speaking world. But I must tell you, I'm really jealous about the trip that you went on because you went to a part of France that I haven't been to. I haven't been down south or out to Corsica. So I just am so interested in hearing about what you did. So tell us all, where did you go? Who did you go with?
Oh my God, Dave. Okay. I went on Star Clipper, but not only Star Clipper, I went on the Royal Clipper, which
Oh,
is their large ship. Large, small. Um, but it was fabulous. And it was a real last minute thing for my husband and I. We just wanted to squeeze a week in before my daughter's wedding next month. And I'd been looking at river cruises, other ocean cruises, and I just couldn't pin anything down. And then I just literally thought, okay, I'm just going to look at Star Clipper. And lo and behold, it was meant to be because I actually booked the last cabin on the ship for that sailing. It was a 6 night round trip Cannes in France, and it took us through Portofino in Italy and Corsica, which I'd always wanted to go to. So it was just meant to be.
absolutely. Absolutely. Good on you. So you started in Cannes and you said you went to Portofino and then around Corsica, back up to Cannes in 6 nights. Let's talk about some of the ports you went to. What stood out? What did you love?
Oh, well, Cannes, it was just fantastic. I haven't been down to the south of France since I was a young teenager with my parents, so literally decades ago.
Like in the
But
1900s?
yeah, it was in the 1980s. But we never went to Cannes actually. So that was new and I loved it. It's real high life down there, real millionaire's playground, they call it. Everyone has a Ferrari and a yacht, and it's just a wonderful place to be and pretend you're, super rich.
And you might have been surprised to see that they were spending euros now and no longer francs like the last time you visited.
Oh no, we did. Yeah, you're cheeky. I have been to France since then, actually, but it was on a river cruise, so we'll talk about that another time. But
Absolutely.
because that's a totally different holiday. But
But
yeah,
yeah, you were saying
Porto,
the south of France, the vibe.
the vibe. Oh, there is a huge vibe. It's it's just sunny, and the sun brings out the best in so many people. And walking in and out of French restaurants and bistros and cafes, and everyone eats outside, and you're on the seafront, and it's a Mediterranean vibe.
I love
It's
that.
just perfect.
Now, a little trivia about me that you or our viewers might not know. My first cruise was on Star Clippers. I went from Athens to Malta, and of course, that's kind of where I got my love for small ship traveling. One of the most special parts, though, was the embarkation and the sail away. So I'd love to hear about what your moments were like.
Oh, do you know what? The best bit on the whole sailing was when they hoisted those sails and they
Uh,
played that music, and it was just so special. I got goosebumps,
I'm
honestly.
getting a tingle. Like,
It was just so magical, and the ship sailed through the night with the sails up. And because Star Clipper, although it is engine ran, it can just run on her sails. So it was just magical up on deck that night. We all got given a glass of champagne, and we just watched and listened as these sails went up. And it's the most magical thing, honestly.
absolutely. It's the sound of and that's why you've got to be on these small ships because it's all the senses you come into it. And when you see and then when you hear the wind catch those sails and they pop open and then you feel the thrust,
Oh,
it's magic. There's nothing
oh.
like it in the world.
Do you know what? The whole ship was an experience, and that's why I wanted to sail on her, because the whole experience of the sailing is truly magical. To be on a real life sailing ship was just magical, the whole thing, honestly. And that thing, she is like a TARDIS. I don't know if you've got any Doctor Who fans here, but she is tiny on the outside. And then honestly, when you've got a three-deck atrium inside, with where they have the piano lounge and the restaurant, and you look up and you see three, and how does this even fit in this ship, honestly? Like, she is dwarfed on the outside by all those cruise ships, but on the inside, she feels massive. It's just, it's amazing what they can fit in those things.
Well, I definitely believe it because I've been there. And with my clients, that have gone on the ship or other Star Clipper ships, sometimes they're worried that it might be too small. But then that's feedback that they always bring back to me is they say they felt very cozy, that they had lots of space. There were lots of nooks and crannies to explore. So, what were some of the areas on the ship that you'd like to check out?
So Ian and I really, my husband and I really enjoyed the lounge during the day when we're just waiting to go, board on a tender to go out or waiting to arrive in dock, we'd sit in the lounge and read a book and have a cup of tea. And that's really great because, if you miss breakfast, which I may have done once, I found the lounge, provided some croissants and some fresh bakes and tea and coffee. So you can still, begin your day with some food inside you, and that was really nice. Um, but also just being up on deck, there was plenty of deck chairs, there was plenty of areas where you could just sit and lounge and be on your own, or and just to sit and read in peace. And that's what we really just wanted to get away for that. I mean, often, we want to get away for the liveliness of the ship and to see the theatres and the shows, but this week was really about pulling my husband away from a busy time at work and getting him to relax on the ship. So, and it did all of that for us.
And another thing people I find love with this cruise line is the immersive experience. You can really get hands-on and see how a ship like this works, how it operates. I've even had clients go up the crow's nest. I didn't do that myself. Does that aspect speak to you guys when you travel on this thing?
Yeah, definitely. They did have climbing up to the crow's nest, which I didn't do either because I'm petrified of heights.
Same.
My husband wanted to do it, but actually, we found that on the days they were doing it, we were out discovering what was on shore. But they kind of have an open bridge policy. And I say kind of because unfortunately now, because of safety, you can't just turn up and ask to go in there. But you can ask in advance for the times that you are able to go in there. So like at night, you can't just walk into the bridge because obviously they really need to focus on where they're heading to when they can't see the ocean.
Right.
So they allow it more during the day, and you can definitely go in there and sit in the bridge and discover, all that the captain and crew do in the bridge. It's amazing. The cabins, they because we literally booked the last cabin on the ship, we were in a porthole, which I wouldn't usually book. I'd usually book a balcony to get the full ship experience. I love the ocean, so to be able to step out into the balcony and see where you are, where you've docked, to be able to have breakfast out on the balcony or just a cup of tea or a glass of something in the evening is just really magical to experience on a journey. But we had the portholes, but actually, it was okay. The cabin was really cozy and clean, and the bathroom was lovely, and it was just right for a week's sailing.
I
It was
agree.
perfect. And the cabin isn't the whole experience. It was the ship on this occasion, so I really didn't mind on this occasion.
What ports stood out? Did you have one that was your favorite?
So for me, Italy always wins out every time. So Portofino was magical. And I just love the whole Italian lifestyle, the whole vibe, and the people and everything. So arriving in Portofino was lovely. Lovely to be back in Italy again. Um, but expensive, yeah. So my husband was kind of shocked. We walked into a cafe, excuse me, which never realized was by a very well-known fashion designer. And we paid €80 for a bottle of prosecco there.
I hope it
But
was
along
worth
with
it.
it came lovely nibbles. So we were nibbling on nuts and fancy crisps and potato chips for you North Americans, and fancy bits and pieces. And we also had a bottle of water, so but it's lovely just to sit there and watch the world go by.
I love that.
Another highlight was Ajaccio in Corsica. I really loved that port, the stunning old town and new town, and the whole French vibe going on, but in a much smaller, confined space. But again, without the crowds. So the whole itinerary was actually just perfect. It was actually, for 6 nights, it was everything you wanted to see in that 6 night period, definitely.
So I have
I
one more question for you about this one. Who would you recommend this cruise for?
Oh, everybody. I reckon everybody. Obviously it's not recommended for kids and there's nothing for kids to do on the ship.
Right.
But any adults of any age, I mean, actually, I was quite surprised. There was quite broad range. I mean, we weren't the eldest, but we definitely weren't the youngest on that sailing. So, and we are quite social people on these cruises. We spoke to a lot of people and we asked them why, they chose that ship. And, a vast majority was for the whole sailing experience.
Hmm.
And, one couple had done like 20 cruises with on that ship. 20. And for most it was their first one. And it was for the whole tall ship experience. That's what you go on that ship for. And Star Clipper, you
Well,
know,
it's
they're all
addictive.
loving it.
And just hearing your story and making me think about my cruise with them, I want to book a Caribbean cruise with them right now for myself. But maybe I can help some others first. So if you are looking to get booked on that cruise, whether it's to Caribbean or European, I'd love to help you out if you're in North America. My name's Dave Wentworth, and you can reach me at my website, destinationwhatever.com.
And if you're in the UK, I would definitely love to book you on a Star Clipper cruise. Lorraine McCowart at bespokecruiseholidays.com. And of course, I'm on Facebook, same name, Bespoke Cruise Holidays. Or you can find me here on the Ship Less Travelled with Dave Wentworth.
Well, everybody, until the next time we see you again, smooth sailing and pleasant skies from the ship less traveled. Bye for now.
Bye.
Curious about small ship cruising and ready to start planning? We're here to help plan your next voyage, whether you're a first timer or a seasoned sailor.
If you're in the UK, I'd love to hear from you. You can find me at bespokecruiseholidays.com or visit my agency's Facebook page. Let's plan something unforgettable.
I'm in Canada and cover North America. Visit my website, destinationwhatever.com, or connect with my agency on Facebook. Let's get you on board. Literally.
If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Click on those like and subscribe buttons and please share us with your cruise-loving friends. Support our channel and let's keep this ship sailing.
Thanks for coming on board. Until next time, this has been The Ship Less Traveled, where small ships lead to big adventures.